Yes.
You are 10 years old. Imagine yourself growing up on a farm with acres and acres of land and hundreds of animals everywhere. A baby piglet is born and you get to name it Maggie. She becomes your best friend, you get to feed her and play with her, and at the end of the day you have to put her back to your house, which is where like your dad told you to put her back to. And after school you rush home to go play with her and you can't find her anywhere. And so you ask your dad, "Daddy, where's Maggie?" As you would eventually find out sooner or later, your dad tells you, "Honey, you like bacon, don't you?" They come from pigs. Maggie was a piglet that grew up to be a pig, and she had to be sent to the slaughterhouse. I'm sorry. At 10 years old, I sure hope that didn't happen to you. And if it did, I'm sorry, because that's horrible. The playwright George Barnes Shaw said it best: "Animals are my friends, and I don't eat my friends." Today, I'd like to encourage you to consider a popular diet called vegetarianism. And I'd like to do that by explaining to you what it is, the health benefits, and revealing to you the truth about what you are eating when you consume meat. In addition, I'm going to share with you my experiences as a newly vegetarian and provide you with some personal favorite vegetarian places that you can go to. So what is vegetarianism? Simply put by the Vegetarian Resource Group, vegetarians do not eat meat, fish, or poultry. Then what do you eat? Just like any other diet, you need to eat a variety of different kinds of foods, such as fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, and more. But why become a vegetarian? Virgil the poet once said, "The greatest wealth is health." Most people choose to become vegetarians for the sake of their health. Read any article, book, or ads on being a vegetarian, and they'll all say the nutrients that you would normally get from meat and poultry and fish can easily be substituted by eating just beans, soy, broccoli, tomatoes, lentil, tofu, fruits, and the list continues. The alternatives are far better in providing you with the same nutrients, such as protein, iron, calcium, omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamins, because they have significantly lower amounts of saturated fats, cholesterol, and sodium, to just name a few. Stated on the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.org, more widely known as PETA, the American Dietetic Association states that vegetarians enjoy a lower risk of death from heart disease, lower blood cholesterol levels, lower blood pressure, lower rates of hypertension and type 2 diabetes, and lower body mass indexes, as well as lower overall cancer rates. The ADA also concludes that vegetarian or vegan diets are healthful, nutritionally adequate, and may provide you with health benefits in the prevention and treatment of certain diseases. That's a whole lot of diseases you can avoid by just not eating meat. However, if longevity isn't in your best interest, and you're still not convinced, maybe I can gross you out of your carnivorous diet. I'm sure everyone has heard of the saying, "You are what you eat." According to PETA, animals in factory farms are fed antibiotics and steroids to prevent outbreaks of diseases in the crowded, unsanitary conditions that they're raised in, and to make them grow faster. You might say, well, that doesn't sound bad. Lots of people take antibiotics, and some people even take steroids. How would you feel about eating dogs or even cats? How about a skunk or a rat? 2 words, rendering plants. According to the Jivdaya Resource Center, rendering plants and slaughterhouses pretty much go hand in hand. The rendering plants are, what they do is that they recycle dead animals and slaughterhouse waste and supermarket rejects into various products known as recycled meat, bone meal, and animal fat. One estimate states that some 40 billion pounds of slaughterhouse waste like blood, bone, and the remains of the millions of euthanized cats and dogs passed along by veterinarians and animal shelters are rendered annually into livestock feed. A 1991 USDA report states that approximately 7.9 billion pounds of meat, bone meal, blood meal, and feather meal was produced by rendering plants in 1983. These plants are a billion dollar industry that operates 24 hours a day all over America and Europe, but we don't hear about them. Because there's reasons why we don't hear about firms like this and why they're kept quiet. Just think about it. Euthanized dogs, cats, and other animals are recycled and they're fed into the livestock, and then we kill the livestock and we eat that. You're eating what they just ate, and that's pretty gross to me. Speaking of eating, it's almost lunchtime, and I'm hoping that I've grossed out everyone about eating like meat by now. As I've mentioned previously, from doing research on this, just think about eating the recycled dog and cat meat by eating the meat that, like cows and stuff. I became a vegetarian myself, and it hasn't been a very long time. I started slowly, and it's probably been like only a week since I have eaten meat, but I do feel healthier, and I think I can keep it up for as long as, I'm going to try to keep it up as much as I can. Once I read about the rendering plants, I couldn't eat meat anymore. Even still hearing about all that, many of it will still not be convinced and say that vegetarian options are hard to find and that they don't taste as good. But you need to look closer. Vegetarian options are everywhere now. Almost every restaurant has vegetarian alternative option, something without meat in it. So I want to make some recommendations to you, some places that you can go to. And my first recommendation is just down the street in downtown Fullerton called Rudibigors. They offer a wide variety of vegetarian dishes. They also have like meat dishes, but they have a lot of vegetarian options. My favorite is the Boca Burger, which is a veggie patty served with garlic, sourdough bread with melted cheese and lettuce and tomatoes, and it's like really good. Or Javier's, which is at the Irvine Spectrum. It's a Mexican restaurant, and it's not a vegetarian place, but they still have a dish called the spinach enchiladas, and it's served with this like white sauce with like white rice and beans, and it doesn't have any meat in it, but it's really, really good. And so in conclusion, I talked about what vegetarianism is today, the health benefits of becoming a vegetarian, and revealed to you some of the most gruesome secrets as to why the meat that you eat tastes so good. I'm not going to go out and I'm not saying you should go out and become a vegetarian in a heartbeat. Maybe you can slowly change your diet by only eating meat 3 or 4 times a week and not eating meat the other days. Because think about how much healthier you'll feel in the long run. That's how I've started feeling, and I've only been a vegetarian for a week, and I feel so much healthier already. Thank you.
So, Joe, what did you think?
I thought the attention device with the, or we're just like growing up into like a Disney cartoon and then all of a sudden the pig's dead, you know? It grabs you, it's good. It had a good like preview, laid out exactly what was going to happen, it happened the way she said. The structure, it started off good and it continued in good, but there's a little bit towards the end where I'm not sure if we looped a little bit, but that one's just been me. The citations were brilliant. They were all over the place. It was great. great mix of pathos and logos as well.
Mm-hmm.
Gave us an easy solution at the end, something we could go out and do, and it broke it down into steps so we didn't go that while we just getting ready food, move straight away. Cut it out. I think that's all done.
All right.
The eye contact maybe a little bit too much of a fact.
All right.